Hello, Anna. Just a minute. How are you, Anna? Namaskaram. How
Actually,
is the weather?
I had some difficulty because I was not able to retrieve the Twitter messages. Then I switched off
Oh,
the phone again, got it back, and now only got it.
okay. Hmm. Well, sometimes I do feel that we have so much dependency on these mobiles these days that at any point of time the mobile stops working, then it seems like half of the world is lost. You
Oh, I
know?
was just thinking
So,
like that. But if I miss this, I won't be able to join the space at all, and
yes.
I won't be able to communicate also because I want to say something to you, I can't do it.
Right. And even the desktop, the desktop version, if we open Twitter from
Okay.
web browser doesn't support the space as good as it supports in the mobile. The mobile version is having, you can see all the listeners and everything. It's very proper. But if you open it in the web browser, it will look completely different, and it's not you cannot attend spaces very easily from the web browsers.
Okay.
And probably even the speaking mic is not visible from the web browser. I mean, you can listen to, but you cannot
Speak.
say anything.
You use mobile, like, huh?
Yes, I use mobile.
Okay. I think there is a guest poet also joining the
Mm,
space.
Yes, yes. This is the new segment that I have added in this season. I'm trying to connect with poets and have them in the space for at least 30 minutes to speak about poetry and their
Okay.
journey.
Actually, I
So,
wanted to go through her profile, but
sorry.
no, actually, I wanted to go through today's poet's profile.
Hmm.
I could not do it.
Uh-huh. You can again join. You can again later on try. I'll share all the details. But today I'm very upset actually because Sri informed that he will not be able to join. He would be. I mean, since he's a very active poet, his presence in the space is very crucial. Is what I feel always.
I think
But
he's attending some other space. I think he was. I don't know actually, but
no,
no, but he was busy, I think, with that freelancing aspects.
that is on Sunday. That is tomorrow, not
Okay.
today. Yeah, and today he is having some other priority task to accomplish. That is why
Okay.
he cannot join. Welcome, Swati, to our space. Thank you so much for joining. This is a poetry space we host every Saturday. We have completed hosting 10 spaces at a stretch, and this is our 11th space. We are waiting for all the people to join so that we can start. You can check my profile about the agenda of the space today, what all we are going to cover and what all segments we are having in the space today. And please feel free to just for the mic if you want to say anything. At this point of time, we are just waiting for the other speakers and listeners to join. So how was the week, Anna?
It was okay, guys. A little busy with other things, so not able to concentrate with poetry now
Okay.
because it was
Yeah.
long absence. It was almost 7 months since I went there, so
Okay.
for that attend on priority.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I tried to download that ebook of yours,
Hmm.
the Kindle version. Actually, I could not do it. I think it is that this offer has expired. I think.
This is not an offer. I have bought the book myself. My own book. I have bought it for you, and I have sent it in email. So it will never expire. Nothing to expire.
I
You
think,
have
but
Kindle app?
it doesn't suffer that. Then I thought of making payment itself. I think it comes
No,
to
no.
49 rupees. I think that Kindle version.
No, 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 no. You need not pay again, right? I have already paid for it. So you need to have the Kindle app in your mobile actually. Do you have that?
Oh, first I have to install Kindle app. Okay?
Your voice is breaking.
I need to install the Kindle app first. Okay?
Yes, yes. So this is the main reason probably. First of all, you will have to download and install the Kindle app, and then when you click on the option of from that email, probably then it will ask you to open in the Kindle, and
Actually,
then you can click on the.
I need to as a this thing, okay, in Amazon.
Hmm.
I need to open an account. Okay?
In Amazon, you can, I mean, for Kindle app, I don't think you need to just go to the Play Store and search for Kindle app, and
Okay.
then you can download and install like normally. And even if it asks for opening an account, I think that is fine only.
Okay. Okay. I don't have account in Amazon.
Okay. It's a very simple procedure. One email address it will ask for and a password you're saying that.
Okay.
I really don't know where all the people are. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. I have
Is
pinged in the group
Sayan
also.
joining today?
Huh?
Sayan joining today?
Shine told he will join. Amrita told she will join. Suman told he will join. Kirtivas, anyways, he would be joining. He didn't say anything that he won't join or something like that. So I don't know where all are they.
What about Bhairav? Has anything come from?
Bhairav, yeah, Bhairav told that he will join at 9 p.m. So after 1 hour. I mean, I today have time boxed the segments also. I have tweeted one I mean, one message just half an hour ago. Probably none of you have seen. So I
Yeah,
have
no.
sequenced, yeah, I have sequenced the segments and also allotted the time. The time allotment was already done in the poster itself, but
Yes.
again, I mean, sequence.
But I think you didn't mention in the poster about the what will come first.
It didn't mention.
Was it poem of the day?
Your voice is poem of the day. Yes, POTD is the poem of the day.
What is the sequence, okay? Today's this thing events.
Anna, sorry, I just am having difficulty in hearing you. It's breaking. I don't know. It's my network or yours. Could you please come again?
No, I actually wanted to know whether what will come first in this one,
Well,
okay? Today's space.
wanted to know whether. Then I didn't hear anything.
No,
Last word I heard space.
what
So
will be
you
the
can
first?
write me a. Oh God, it's breaking tremendously now.
But I can hear you quite well, Akka.
Okay. Okay. So you wanted to know whether
No, what is the sequence of today's space, Akka? What is the first? What will come first today?
God, I'm not. Can you drop me a message, Anna? And I do not have anybody else also in the speaker section who can confirm me that if my voice is audible to them clearly or not. Swati would like to see any hand gestures from you to show if I'm audible to you. Just a minute. Welcome, Dr. Swati. Thank you for asking for the mic.
Actually, both of your voices are clear, but maybe Sonali Akka, your network is not good. That's why you are not unable to hear the other people's
Mine is
voice.
not good. Oh my God. I mean, I have restarted my router, I have restarted my phone, I was all prepared, and then still I'm having poor network. That's very bad. I mean, and if I
I
end the
think
space now,
Subramanian is asking what is the theme of this space. Is that only
oh,
Anna you are asking? Anna,
Hello, hello,
you're
ma'am.
asking what is the theme of the today's space. That is only we
Oh,
are
no, Akka.
asking.
No, that I know, Akka. That is motherhood. Actually, I wanted to know what is the sequence of today's events.
okay,
How she has
okay.
planned it.
Sequence. Okay, I got the question now. Thank you, both of you. Thank you very much, Swati, for taking the pain to ask for the mic and then explaining it all to me. So the first section sequenced is guest poems. So initially, just as we usually do, right? That whoever's joined, Srikar shares his on the theme. I share my poem on the theme, and whoever else wants to can. So we will have 30 minutes of those guest poems on the topic motherhood. Or if somebody wants to share any of their poem of the topic is also welcome. And then second section is the poem of the day. Have 30 minutes on that as well. And then comes the conversation with the guest poet. That is also for 30 minutes. And after that section, we have the quiz. So quiz is somewhat related to the poem of the day. So we'll have 5 questions, 10 minutes allotted to that. And next is the tell us more. That is the listeners and speakers can share their thoughts, the normal we usually have. That is for 30 minutes. So this should, if we go by time, then it should be like 2 hours 30 minutes. We should be able to wind up in 2 hours 30 minutes, but look at it. We are not even able to start. It's 8:15, and we are waiting for people. That is the challenge of hosting live spaces. So you can
Yes, sir.
you cannot really be sure about the time when you are starting and when you will be ending. I did all this segmentation and all those things planning just based on the advice of Bhairav. So Bhairav had told, right, that since he is extremely busy, so he is having difficulty to join our spaces and stay longer. So though I mean in recorded videos you can plan and do the things the way you want to, and bring it down to a shorter duration video or audio recorded. But in live spaces it's very difficult. But still I thought that let me try it this way, which actually helped us in the previous celebration space that day, that I had done it with that, allotting the time. So it really helped. Otherwise it could be very clumsy if I would have allowed, the area for, I mean, a space for each area. So it can go on and on. Like, that is why time boxing is also nice. Good idea by Bhairav. So, but let's see if he joins at 9 p.m. today.
Actually, I think time factor is most important because everyone will be having some work to attend.
Yes.
I mean, we can't be in the space for such a long time.
Yes. And in fact, the thing is, with the spaces, suppose you might be free for the suppose from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. you are free, but somebody else is might be getting free at 9 p.m. So they might be joining a little later. So you will have to start, and they would be probably missing out on those initial segments. But it's like an open meeting room, everybody coming and leaving at their own convenience. And what I have observed in all the previous 10, 11 spaces is that there is a very I mean, it is not very much like a boring kind of we are doing it for so long, like it automatically goes to 3 hours, right? We are not doing it in a planned way that we'll have a long space, but people are so engaged, and all of us get so well engaged in the conversation that it lingers till 3 hours and even more. So it at times becomes very tiring for me too, because I speak probably most of the time I am speaking longer, I mean more, because I am the host. So towards the end, it becomes a little tiring for me too. So it helps, like if we box it in time. So, oh my God, nobody got so late till date, 8:20.
I think by the time we will be almost 5 or 6 people all will
Hmm.
be.
I have messaged Shayan separately. Let me message Suman. Hmm. I just remember one song by Tagore where it mentions that uh, the reference he used metaphor to of the flower that buds in a forest and has no admirer to watch it. you know so he was using this metaphor to explain the loneliness of uh, what was the name of that the queen of Manipur during the Mahabharat, you remember? um,
No, no idea.
no idea, no idea about Mahabharat.
No, you are saying she is from Manipur.
She is she married Arjun. uh, hmm, oh my,
Krishna's sister was also married Arjun, I think.
who married?
Krishna's sister.
Subhadra, you are
Yes,
talking about Subhadra Devi.
Yes.
Subhadra is Krishna's sister. I mean, Arjuna
Yeah,
had married multiple people
yeah.
before.
Draupadi means the five brothers.
Hmm. Yes, Draupadi.
Arjuna alone means Subhadra.
Yeah,
Oh.
Draupadi was the first wife. Subhadra was when he traveled towards the west, he married there. And when we travel towards the east, he married the princess of Manipur. And oh my God, both who go. I remember the song, but I let me see. I'll see the name. I have it written in my copy. It can be also Googled also. Why am I looking at my copy, searching for it?
It is the easier way to find out.
Huh? Chitrangada, yes. Chitrangada was the name of that princess. So, Chitrang,
I was about this name before. I
yes. So, Chitrangada was a warrior princess actually. She was brought up like a son, like a prince. So, when she saw Arjuna for the first time, she fell in love with him. And I mean, during that meeting, she was having a feeling that Arjuna might reject her. She is not that feminine looking, you know. She is since a warrior princess. She has been brought up like a boy, so she is having less of the feminine features in her. So she was worried that Arjuna might reject her, and on that context, Tagore had written a dance drama in that there are multiple songs, multiple variations, and poetry mixed together, one after the other. And one song comes where it says that it makes her feel like she is someone, I mean, like the flower in the forest, which blooms to the, you know, there is some background noise coming a lot. Hmm. Is it from my side or? Okay. So, and she feels like she is like that flower who is not really, I mean, she is alone and she is like that flower who is not appreciated, who is not watched, and who blooms in the forest. So today I just remembered that line because, you know, we are three only. It is 8:25. Even if we want to start the space, actually there is no without the it is so much a big circle that when you have an art form and when you have something to share with, and if somebody is not there to receive, then there it doesn't make any sense for the entire thing. It feels like it's blooming like a flower in the midst of the forest without anybody to watch. But thanks to both of you and Dr. In and waiting that we will start the space with the conversation, whatever we are having, Anna and myself. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
actually, the forest love has its own value because though it may not be known to the whole world, but it spreads its fragrance throughout the forest. That is its speciality.
That is true. That is true. But I mean, anybody can use any metaphor to map their own state of mind, I mean, with the phase of their life. So, if suppose like if you watch the wildflowers, right? The wildflowers that bloom in a large number, they look really beautiful, but nobody plucks those flowers and you know give it to the king, or you know, you will have only bunch of roses. Roses are very worthy or very precious, you know, roses are like the uh, how do I say, probably the queen of flowers. So their uh, human tendency is to select certain flowers for certain occasions. So we do not really appreciate all kinds of flowers. So that is how we do with human beings also. We do not appreciate everybody, and we do not appreciate all kinds of flowers as well. Although God has made every existence for with their individual values, right? Every tiniest existence also has its own value. But again, there is a factor of appreciation. Until unless somebody values you, there is no it doesn't make any sense of the existence until unless it is valued. Until unless you value what I am saying, there is no sense that I am saying these words. right? Existence.
I I would like to I
Disagree.
would agree to disagree with you
Okay, go ahead. We have
because
time.
because it is we humans actually go for this thing recognition and all of these things, but I for one think that being like a forest flower is the great one thing because uh, we need to just spread the fragrance. They're not going for any recognition.
No,
Even
that
may not be
I got
like the
your
rose.
point. I got your point, Anna. You did not get my point. See, there is first person, there is second person. Okay, suppose there are two uh, two individuals in interaction. Okay, so for the first person, I should not be running after recognition. 100% correct that you said, just said. This should not be my target, aim in life, that I need recognition, I need value. No, that cannot be my driving force. That is a negative force. That is not a positive force. That is not the right attitude. But as a second person, it is your it is very important as a second person to value the other person. Like I should value you and you should value me, although neither of us should be chasing, value. I mean, chase should be chasing appreciation. So there is a difference. I had written a few poems a few days ago also on value. Like when there is rain, the soil values the rain. That is why the plants can grow, and eventually the trees that have grown, they are helping the rain to happen next. So it's a complete cycle. Suppose if the soil or the plants won't have valued, value is a very deep thing. It's not mere appreciation or recognition, Anna. We sometimes feel that people get a very vague idea about value. Value is not just uh, limited with appreciation or recognition. No, absolutely not. Value is very deep, so deep, probably words cannot express what value is. If you need to understand what valuing is, then look at nature. In nature, each and every element of nature is valuing each other. And that is why the entire nature is blooming all together. So this is what I feel about valuing. I mean, for human beings also, for all individuals also, if we value each other, we can bloom like nature. But if we do not value each other, if we do not respect, I mean, value, respect, all these are entangled. All these are very much interconnected. So if we do not do that, we are not at all in a good state. Welcome, Kittivas. Welcome, Shagun. I was so waiting for all of you. Like it is 8:30 and nobody is joining. We are waiting to start the space. Kittivas, I have invited you to speak. Please have the mic whenever you are comfortable. And we are still waiting for the people to join. Um, I don't know. For Dr. Swati, probably she got disconnected. And Cheyenne, I don't know. He was saying that he would join. Amrita, she would join, she had said, but she hasn't. So it is 8:32. Should we start or else? I mean,
Hi,
it would.
Sonali.
Hi, Shagun.
I'm so sorry. Actually, I was just like finishing my dinner and all so that I can join you because I wanted to join, not like last time, So that's why a little late. I'm really, really sorry.
No, 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 no. I mean, it's very. I feel so blessed that I have people like all of you who want to spare time in such a space which probably doesn't look like giving us any, superficially doesn't look like we are gaining anything very materialistic or very, uh, uh, very something. These days, if you check the tweets of people also, you'll see that very business driven kind of tweets, how to become,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
yeah, how to become popular, how to have followers, or I mean, everybody is doing this how to and how to. So
How to, yes.
yes, and sometimes I feel like, okay, everybody's learning how to be popular, but nobody's probably learning what to do with that popularity. Like,
Exactly.
so, but I feel so blessed that all of you really, I mean, still like Kitivas, Srikar, Shayan, Anna, Suman, Amrita, they are probably joining today. So, and many others like Bhairav, then who else? Manoj, Shubham,
Chaitanya,
huh?
Chaitanya, Chaitanya.
Chaitanya, Annie also had been joining so many spaces, right? Probably this from the month of May, she had actually messaged me that she would be off Twitter this month, so she was not there. But all these people are continuously joining the spaces, and they're staying so long. I mean, for the entire period almost. So this makes me so feel so blessed that people are there, who are not running after only those kind of business oriented things. They're also looking for food for soul, or however we want to talk about, this.
Yeah. So here I want to say something that generally what happens is Twitter actually from the time I have since I'm on this space like on Twitter from past you can say 7 to 8 years.
Hmm.
All I saw was like either entertainment or either business, like you said, how to become popular,
Hmm.
and yeah, that was the thing. But for the first time in 7 years, I
Hmm.
actually saw a space where now you are talking about poem stories, how it is to be encouraged, and this is people don't understand that this is not the place wherein only things can be made on a higher level. This can be made, even these things like art forms like poetry, anything, dance or whatever it is, can be made on a higher level. Since I know I'm from a designing background, so I understand
Hmm.
that how much, even how to put thing creative manner or something. So people have
Hmm.
actually forgotten that even poetry needs that creative platform. Be it anything, not only your voice.
Hmm.
There are many other people also who write, who have publicized their books and everything. But I see them very rare. Either they are at the reading sessions somewhere being called, but they never host any kind of spaces or something wherein we people who actually love it. Because even I write, sometimes. So I also feel
Hmm.
that always like, and I've been reading your poems. I'm reading since the time I have started following. So I find them that
Hmm.
they're so realistic. There is something different. Their thought process is so different from others. Even I read others also. So there are different people, different thought processes. So we should come up and sharing often, right? And you're doing a great job. That's right.
Thank you so much, Gun. That makes my journey so much meaningful when you say these words, and provides me fuel to keep on going. Not always we have a destination defined that I want to reach there, but probably journeys like this become the destination themselves. Like, I am totally enjoying doing this. I never myself had a thought of doing anything. Never in my far memory that I can. I mean, I joined Twitter in the month of February, and I started exploring spaces, joining different people's spaces and talking about business and how to do this and how to do that. And suddenly, out of nowhere, while interacting with Anna, this idea came up to my mind, and then I just began. And today's 11th space. So really, thank you so much that different people we are from different areas of the country, and also from some people are joining from US, Canada as well. Today we have the guest poet, she's from US. So this is really nice to be thinking about poetry like that, since I have a I have a special corner in my heart for poetry. So it really makes me feel good that something like this can be done and can be engaging to people. This feedback really is very. Want you to share this in writing, Shagun, with me. I'll want to treasure this.
Wait, what thing?
Like the words that you just spoke about this space, I
Uh-huh.
want you to write this for me
I will
so
tweet
that
you
I.
this. I will tag you. I will tag everyone who has joined the space, and I'm going to, literally write these words. Because the thing is, it is the need of the hour. I just like how I feel being a creative person, to be very honest. So yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank
yeah,
you.
from my voice, you must be feeling it that yeah, I'm quite confident about it. So yeah, you have requested, so definitely no problem.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just for the sake, it will remain documented, right? I'll
Yes,
have it
yes, yes.
somewhere saved. Not for
Yeah,
any
sure, why
other
not?
reason. I want to make it clear to myself as
Yeah,
well. This is not for any
okay.
other
That
reason.
is good that you are taking my memory. It will be
Yeah.
I will also be very happy that I had to do it somewhere because it will be saved, right? So yeah, so that is
Yes.
there. Yes, why not? Why not? Why are we? See, it's not all about support. It is indeed is a relation we are maintaining, like on the grounds of friendship also, right? It's important
Yes.
because when we won't
Yes.
connect with people, then we won't understand that what is going on actually. Okay, like in Hindi we
Yes.
say like ठंडा पानी तो जिंदगी भर चलते ही रहेगा like that will be it is on and on process but something like this
Yes.
will be cherished like like always like yeah like today you have written now next time will you be able to have their thoughts no you will be having like you will be running somewhere else because situation will be different at work
Hmm.
at any
Hmm.
point of time see for me also when I travel my brains don't work that way because I'm just busy looking around at sceneries or maybe sitting at the mountain wondering what I will do next so this is the thing so something is out of the blue also so this is important and so I feel that
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, that's a very, you have come and you have just lit up the room. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
my pleasure my pleasure
Yeah. And now just I received a message from Shine that Hugh also will not be able to join today just because he's completely engaged in his work. He's not able to just step
yeah
out.
many of them are working today yeah many of them are there
Yeah, that's
I was
sad
saying
that
that
on weekends also people have
yeah
to work.
yeah
That's
yes,
really
yes.
sad, but
Actually yeah.
yeah, but can't do anything. So let's start. So the first section is guest poems. So, I mean, guest poems, by guest poems, I mean on the topic or off the topic, whoever wants to share any of their poems. So, we do not have Srikar with us today. Srikar usually as always, I mean, he is ready with his poems. So, he is also busy at work, so we don't have him. I have one of my poems ready with me, but I would like to hear from Kitivas, Anna, Shagun also, if you have any poem that you want to share with us.
Well, poem since last, yeah, yeah. One thing I had written was 2 days back, which was this is not a poem. These are just two lines which I had written. That how things become when you are in a long distance relationship, right? So
Okay.
this comes in like he asked that why you are away. So she said that I am making a way to your heart that A
Oh,
and way towards like I just just culminated it into two parts like a way towards your heart. So that was it. So
nice
I
play
made
of
it.
words. Nice play of words. Well, neat. Nice, really nice. You have it written, right? You keep it.
Yes,
You do not
yes, yes.
let it float.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens that our pieces of poetry float in the air and it's lost with time.
Yeah.
So, so whenever such cute poems pop up, always try to document and save them so that in future, even if you do not share it with the world, sometimes when you go back and
Yeah.
see it, it rekindles everything like about your life. So that's so we have in our room the guest poet of the day. Thank you so much for joining in, Nikki. And I'll Invite you to speak. We are still in the segment, in the first segment itself. Though, please do not worry, it will not long very. It won't linger too long because everybody who usually joins our spaces, the poetry lovers, most of them are busy at work today. I don't know. On weekends, also, what is making them work so much? That's really sad, but happens. Life is like that only. So I have till now received from 3, 4 people that they are not able to join just because of some work. And okay, so any poems from Anna? Would you like to share anything?
Yes, Akka, I would like to share, but before that, I would like to hear because I could not get it much from Shagun, I think, because what she Shagun, could you
Her poem.
please repeat your poem, please? Little slow.
Okay, so you found my, yeah, because here I think my network was not there, so yeah, probably. So shall I just write it down and just send it to you because now somewhere its network issue is there. So can you hear me now
No,
or
I'm
something?
able to hear perfectly.
Yeah. So I had wrote that he said, "Why you are away from me?" So the second line which says, "She said that I am making a way towards your heart."
Okay. Good, good, good.
Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you, Shagun, for repeating that. And request now, Anna. Please
Akka,
go ahead with
actually,
your
I
poem.
have written
Hmm.
a poem on Holi.
Hmm. Okay.
This is a modest effort. It goes like this. Donning the vibrant colors of life comes the festival of Fagun Alive, a triumph of good over bad, a celebration of exuberance and aliveness, smearing gulal on each other, a lovely sight to behold, time for forgiveness and new starts. What a live a blessed life. That's all.
Wow, nice. Nice one, Anna. So this is when did you write this one?
Actually, on the occasion of Holi, Akka, this Holi.
Okay. Okay. So this Holi you were on in Rwanda, right?
Yes, Akka.
Okay. I don't think you shared this poem with me.
No, Akka, not yet shared because whenever Holi comes, get reminded of my childhood days. Because when I was in North India, at the
Hmm.
time, people, relations, or the friends and all will be coming and just smearing us with that powders and all. And as a child, I used to just run away from that place and I will just hide and caught and all, so that no one is coming in. Because I feel something like that. Because when they smear you with the powder and all, I was afraid as a child.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
over the years, I got the message that it is such a good festival.
Yes, yes, that is what actually happens with children. Most of the children during their childhood, for both Holi and Diwali. I also remember the initial when I used to like sit with a towel on my head on the days of Diwali, thinking that the firecrackers would come and drop on my head. So this happened. But yeah, nice memories. And now I would like to hear from Kitivas any poems or anything. You write very well, Kitivas. Do not just again unmute yourself and say, Didi, I did not write, not know it, because last on the celebration space, we did see that how well you wrote that skit. So please,
Hi Didi, can you hear me Didi?
yes.
Uh, I really Didi, I'm little bit busy with my internship and project was so when you send me the title of Motherhood, I just thought, why can't we write a poem at least now? It's there, mother, it will be more emotional and like that. But I can't really able to concentrate and do that. Sorry for that, Didi. But I will try to write a poem on mother and send it to you.
Absolutely beautiful. No issues at all. And you can never force creativity out of yourself. It creativity happens, and we just need to wait for that to happen. So we cannot force, and we have to always deal with the daily things that keep on happening with us, our work, our project deliverables, and everything. So it's quite understandable. No issues. Please, just participate if you're not working. Are you? You were saying that you were having the project for internship. So are you working right now?
No, no, Didi. No, I'm just doing
Okay.
internship.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So then probably I'm the only one left now, apart from Nikki, though we will have a different section with her completely dedicated to her. So let me read out my poem on the topic, uh, probably on the topic where this is the first poem today. So I actually searched on my ebook. Uh, on my, it's easy to search on ebooks. So I opened my ebook and I searched for the word mother because I remember that I have mentioned mother in quite a many poems of mine, quite a many poem of mine, and then I saw that there were quite a lot. So it was not like specifically talking about motherhood, but mother has played such a huge role in human life that she is there. She is everywhere. Like she is in the brisk of a wind. She is always there. I can hear her voices even when I'm miles away from her. Like I can imagine in certain situations that had she been with me, what she would have told, or how would she have guided me. So a lot of things keep on happening to us. I believe it happens with all of us because we all we all know how mother feels like, and probably it is the mother only uh, who teaches us how to be a mother just by being a mother. So that is why I always believe that motherhood is not specific to any gender. It is irrespective of gender. Man also has the motherhood in him, and a woman also does have. So it is completely based on how well we feel about the entire existence and any life, be it new life or old life. It is just about life, how we reciprocate to any kind of life that exists around us. And probably that tendency to nurture life at the first place is probably motherhood. That is how I see it. And motherhood is again something is probably takes us beyond humanity as well. If you start working towards divinity, probably this is where your divine sense blends with human sense. Like you have there are lots of Indian poets. I haven't read much of the poems by from Europe or United States, where from the West, where motherhood as a divinity has been portrayed. I do not have that idea, but in Indian poets, a lot of poets I have come across where they have addressed God or divinity in terms of motherhood. So you can imagine how when motherhood has been looked upon, and it merges, like mother becomes like a god and the god becomes like a mother. So God becoming like a mother it's such an intimate relationship. It takes you to such a close relationship with God. And again, seeing mother as the God makes a God out of a human being, right? So that's a beautiful blend. And motherhood is probably, that is why the one of the most powerful things or powerful capability, probably. I do not know, the word is not popping up in my mind. So this is something we all feel. Not every time we can explain, but yes, motherhood and mother is everywhere in us. And yes, there are certain people also who do not have very good childhood. Again, there are mothers who are also just mere human beings, right? So there might be incidences where you will see lack of motherhood even in a mother. So there have been lots of cases like that as well. We have spoken of such things in our past poetry spaces as well. But altogether, whatever motherhood should be like is something really divine. So this poem is I had written in 19th July, 2019. Uh, it doesn't sing highly about uh, the quality of a mother or what sacrifices she does for her children or for anybody. But it speaks about a potential mother who is conceiving a child and how her uh, view to the world changes when she is carrying the child. So the name of the poem is A Mother. In silence of the night, as she was looking at the dark sky, out from her window, there was just a single star, shining alone, bright at that wide night. Her hands on her belly, she found herself saying, "Child, I know you are going to leave in a tougher time than that of mine, but do never cease believing, believing in goodness, if required, be the last good thing on earth yourself." I'd repeat, in silence of the night, as she was looking at the dark sky, out from her window, there was just a single star, shining alone, bright at the wide night. Her hands on her belly, she found herself saying, "Child, I know you are going to leave in a tougher time than that of mine, but do never cease believing, believing in goodness. If required, be the last good thing on earth yourself." Thank you. That's all. So, Shagun, you wanted to say something. You're raising your hand.
And I just want to say, just amazing what you have written. Just amazing. I, like some things really, actually, this thing is going now, in current times. What
Hmm.
actually, especially we to be mothers or you are already mothers or who are already single parents, who are going through so much to raise, looking at the things around in the world, right?
Hmm.
What we
Hmm.
are going through currently. Any of the daily we hear something which is going on the lower side, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Every day some negative energies are enveloping on daily basis. So
Hmm.
during such times, a mother is only one kind of strong relation, which is who never gives up. What we say, generally it's a wonderful feeling, to be even nurtured by someone or to give our nurture to someone. So yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Exactly, like that is what exactly you I mean you got what this poem was trying to say is, it's sometimes we feel in things we words are not, I mean, I sometimes feel that God has given us so many opportunities to express ourselves. There are words, there are tunes, there are colors, there is dance, there is poetry, there is so many things. In any way you can express yourself, like we as human beings are also an expression of our feelings. So sometimes certain feelings or certain things that you are going through or you're seeing becomes really hard to explain. But yes, this poem was, when I was writing, it was just like nothing like a, sermonizing, or this should be like that, should not be like that, nothing. It's a plain emotion, plain, clean, pure emotion, just, you know leaving behind the uh, impression. So at this times, as you just said correctly, Shagun, like very hard times, and every time proceeds, we are just proceeding towards a tougher time. So when a mother conceives, whenever be it, the child is always going to live in a more, in a tougher time in the future. And we say tougher time just because we can see there is a lack of, belief in the goodness. People, probably there is goodness, but have stopped believing in goodness. So that's where it becomes very challenging to cling to goodness, because goodness, what is the use of being good, or how does being good make any sense? So that is where a mother can play a very, in fact, bring up the child to at least a good human being, whatever he or she does in his life, but at
I don't know if it's me. I can't hear you, Sonali.
so yeah,
Me too, Didi.
this is the one poem we had on topic. Anna, Kitivas, you want to say?
Didi, yeah, sorry, I can't able to hear you properly. Hello? Oh, network problem.
Anything? Everybody is hearing me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, Kitivas got dropped off. He's requested for the mic again. Okay. Anna, do you want to say anything during the time Kitivas takes the mic?
Akka, could you repeat the last lines, Akka, of the poem?
The last lines, you mean last 4 lines, 6 lines? How many lines? Last 2 lines?
Last, I think, 4 lines.
Okay, let you the entire this portion, otherwise last 4 lines won't mean anything. Okay, child, I know you are going to live in a tougher time than that of mine, but do never cease believing in goodness. If required, be the last good thing on earth yourself. Is it okay, Anna?
Okay, okay, Akka, got it.
Okay.
Actually, it is like mother is advising the child. Uh,
Yes. Mother is advising kind of in a format of she is wishing for the child because the child is unborn yet. It is she is just carrying the child at that moment. She is feeling that. So that is all. And Kitivas, if you want to say something, otherwise we'll move to the next section. Kitivas is on mute. Okay, fine. Thank you. Next, so we have the section that is the poem of the day. But I would like to know from you, Nikki, should because in 15 minutes we were supposed to start your section. So should we start or should I mean if we start now, we are starting around probably 15 minutes before. And if we do not start now, then probably we'll have to start from 15 minutes after the planned time because poem of the day is probably going to take me 30 minutes.
Hmm.
So do
We can start now. That's fine.
we can start? Yeah, okay. So first of all, let me tell to my listeners about you. So I'm actually very excited to welcome our first poet in our second season of Poetry Spaces, Nicole Batiste. We can call her Nikki as well. And I really want all of you to give her a warm welcome. She's a best-selling author, a public speaker, an inner balance life coach, a pet lover, and a person who cheers everyone in their wins and motivates everyone to go for their life goals. So I read through all of her websites and all. This is what I have, gathered about her. So she is a very positive person. We are here very much excited about to learn from her the perspective she has about life. And she is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Clubhouse as well with thousands of followers. You can follow her across all the platforms. She is from Maryland, United States, and she has co-authored 2 books. Her first book was the name of the book is The Wellness Universe Complete Self-Care Guide. So it's a developmental book, like a personal development book. It talks about 25 tools for goddesses. And she wrote the 23rd chapter in that book. And that is the book which earned her the title of #1 best-selling author. The second book that she co-authored is named as Unstoppable, and she wrote chapter 18 in that book. So that is about her author journey, and you can check her poem about poetry. Like you can check her poem in her Twitter banner itself. It's a very cute, sweet poem. While I would want to read out one poem by her before I welcome her to speak. This poem is on mental health awareness, and the name of the poem is May. Just give me a moment while I take it out. Yes. Cries for help are a sign of self-love. Allow them to be heard, not hidden in stuff. Subtlety is not obvious as you think. Use resources when feeling on the brink. Deep down, you know you are worth it. So get help, the help you need to flourish. That is all. So this is how I welcome Nikki. Nikki, welcome you with your own poem.
Thank
Please.
you. Thank you. You
Thank you.
read it so beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was, I can't thank you enough because I really never thought that it is really going to happen, that we are going to talk in my poetry space. and we are really happy to have you as our first guest poet, in our second season. So thank you. So, Nikki, first of all, I would request you to share with us in brief, like your journey, your story, and then we will dive deeper in the poet Nikki direction. So, please.
Absolutely. Thank you. Um, it's funny because it wasn't until recently that I realized how much I really enjoyed poetry. I recalled, and as I was recognizing that, I recalled that I had gotten a couple of small poems published in like my elementary school. They published like some of our poems, and I got two of them had gotten in there, and I just found it a way to really express what I'm feeling so deeply in that moment. So my poems, there's not typically a theme to them other than this is what I'm really feeling really deeply, and words just start flowing out onto paper or typing, however, wherever I'm media I can use to just get it out. So and I love the rhyming poems. Everything that I write has a rhyme to it. So that's the piece that I use.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. And how about the rest of, I would like just to sh so that all of us get to know you a little more apart
Yeah.
from poetry, like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm retired Army. And
Oh,
yeah, I've worked in several different jobs. Like IT is my most recent one, and but I became a life and wellness coach. Hey, Khadijah, because of my own personal mental health journey. So I battled depression from childhood on, just dealing with traumas and things that I experienced at a very young age. At age 4 was the start of it that I can recall back to. And so it wasn't until I was in my 20s when I was first introduced to personal development. And then that started me on the path to healing myself in different ways with a lot of personal growth and doing some inner work. And so that's where my passion comes from, with helping other people really get that inner life under control, because that's what is going to drive your outer life.
oh, wow. I didn't really know that part. You were in army, you were in IT. So that's where, again, I am also from IT. So then I'll have more
Yep.
reasons to love you more. That's
Which is why I love you,
great.
Miss Engineer.
Yes, yes, thank you so much. So, I'd like to know who are your favorite poets, like since old times until date, or any writers, any genre, not necessarily poem, but any.
Yeah. I would have to say, because it wasn't poetry, because I'm just now getting back into poetry, so I hadn't really been studying poets. But writers that make you really think and question your own beliefs so that you can grow and evolve. So I really love Eckhart Tolle. I really like. I'm better at like naming books than names, but like Untethered Soul,
Hmm.
Letting Go, anything that really creates a profound shift in you as a person, and opens your eyes up to the vastness that we are, and helps you really want to explore that part of you, or explore the fact that we are more infinite than not, and just really so I like artists that do that. So if I could find poetry like that, then I'm all for it.
Great, great to know. Thank you so much for that answer, beautiful answer. And okay, I was thinking to ask you regarding what do you think about poetry in modern times? Like, if I would say about myself, we were also
Hmm.
having, in fact, our first space topic was is poetry a dying art? So, in that context, I would love to know from you, what do you think about modern day poetry? Is it evolving, or not having the limelight as much as it should have? Or how do you think about it?
Yeah, so the I would say that it doesn't get the limelight, but I'm also not in that circle yet. Like I'm just getting into it. So I feel like wherever your focus goes, that's what you'll see the most, right? So
Hmm.
if you're looking in mainstream, you don't really see poetry, but that mainstream people are not drawn to poetry. So, but if you're looking in the world, you'll see it and you'll be able to relate and participate and join in and connect that way, which is I was looking. I'm so glad Samantha introduced me to you, because I was actually, when I discovered or rediscovered poetry for myself, I was like, I need to find some poets. So I will say they're not super visible, but you always find, you're going to find what you're looking for. And so whether the way we were introduced or by physically looking yourself, so it's a matter of just where you focus your attention, in my opinion.
That's such a profound uh, thing that you said. Like, yeah, I mean, you need to have the right to get the right answer. So, like that, very truly said, very truly said. And I mean, how do you? I mean, if you think about modern day writers or the young poets, how would you like to advise them or say something that can motivate them to, even if they do not write poetry, at least watch poetry, listen to poetry? How do you like to motivate them?
Well, I would say find something that moves you and speaks to you, whatever form of art it is. Because what I like to meet people where they are and give them what speaks to them, right? So if doesn't resonate with them, I wouldn't suggest go finding something poetry related. Because what I want is for enjoyment, growth, inner peace, contentment, and connection. And so I wouldn't try to make people go to poetry. I'm definitely open to like introducing it so they can decide if that's something that they would like, to connect with. But so all that said, if they've
Hmm.
never been introduced to poetry, I would recommend first finding something that may be in a genre of something that they can relate to, that moves them. It could be about whatever the topic is. See if they can connect that way. That if nothing else, that would be what I would say. Find something that they can relate to.
Hmm. Great. I also agree. But you know something, recently I have very less number of followers, so my statistics won't sound very trustworthy, might be. But even on that followership, I had run a poll a few days back where I had asked that what is the reason that keeps you away from poetry. So I had given of three options probably. One was it is light. Number two, it is a no-brainer, and third option was uh, it is boring, and fourth option was some other reason. Anything you can comment below. So the was maximum votes were on it's boring. So
Yeah. You
so
know,
that, yeah.
sorry, my dog is barking. I can see that. But I think it's, in my opinion, I think if a couple things could happen. It could be put to a song that they like. I mean, honestly, lyrics of songs is poetry. It's just not
Hmm.
spoken the way, it just has music behind it. It's just that
Hmm.
people don't look at it. To me, that's a lot of the lyrics in some songs is poetic. So if you're trying to, I don't want to say spice it up, but if you're trying to ensure it's not a dying art, meeting people, Ladybug, meeting people where they are. Like, what is it? Because you can, it's because poetry is so much of like that person is, you can put it however it resonates with you. You could put it to song, you could put it to movement, some type of like adding it with another type of art, like dance or something like that. Um, and also,
Hmm.
it's the pace of it. A lot of times, like the what think of with poetry is just like slow reading, quiet area, and we're in a society where if something doesn't happen in 2 seconds, then we've lost interest. So it's how do
Hmm.
you capture their interest? One, either with the story, like maybe even leading up to the poem, like how the poem was created, what's the story behind the poem? Because people love to
Hmm.
learn like a deeper message behind things. Um, so it could be different ways of introducing it, a different setting, like at least in the States, people think of poetry night, people are behind a mic, they're in a dark club, and it's just real quiet. And usually it is an older crowd. You don't really see younger people attending those. But um, perhaps just do it in a different setting. So it's just, what is it that how can you blend it with something else but not lose the purpose behind it? I think is probably a good way to reintroduce it and to keep it from becoming a dying art, because everything has to evolve, right? So
Yes.
how do you evolve it?
Yes, very beautifully answered. I mean, very, very beautiful thoughts indeed, Nikki. Because I have been writing poetry for past 18 years by God's grace. And what I feel is, I mean, you won't believe when even I was a child or a growing up teenager, whenever I used to go somewhere in car or any other public transport, any new places, I used to forget the landmarks. Like any new places, some people would have a very fine memory. They would remember where they are. I mean, how to reach that place. But at and in those days we didn't have Google Maps, of course, so we couldn't depend on the Google Maps, and we had to have the memory intact. So initially, I mean, I'll always miss once or twice. I'll definitely miss that how I reached that spot. So I used to get a good amount of scolding from my parents as well. That why look at your friends how well they remember. Why don't you? So after that, actually, I was also one day pondering why am I not able to remember once after this? It is probably the third time then only I am able to remember. Then I realized and I wrote a poem on it. I just quickly want to share because on this context, I am just shared this poem with you.
I love that. And I love the story leading up to it. Like you literally just made my point. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the title of the poem is Walking Stories. It goes, it's just a four-line poem. As the car runs across the streets, I look through the window, miss the landmarks, and see they are all walking stories.
That
That's it.
is so beautiful. I love that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
because you're like, I have
Thank
other priorities. You're welcome. I don't need to memorize this
thank you.
street. I got other priorities.
Even
But yeah,
businesses, the great, the startups or whatever businesses also that flourish, they have because of the story
oh, I
behind.
lost you a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, yep, yeah. I heard because of the story behind. I think I got what you said. You were saying though.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, poetry and stories, and there is always a story behind a poetry also. Like, poetry is just another structure of that storytelling only. So, all of us are actually doing storytelling with our lives and in different formats, and poetry is another format. And I feel that we have just lost an eye to watch it, and that is why probably people find it very boring. And I so at times feel a little sad. There is a lot of potential in poetry the way it has the ability to say very sharp and shrewd things in a very wrapped up manner. uh, we are probably missing out on, but I hope in near future we get to see that all of all of the majority uh, get their that interest in poetry gets rekindled. I really wish that. And
Yeah.
the way you just said, in different formats, presenting the poetry in different ways so that it reaches out to people,
Mm.
that's a good, really good idea. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you. You're welcome.
Yes, and one now I'll definitely like to hear a couple of poems from you, Nikki.
Sure. Um, do you want me to start with the the one that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I just had it and then I clicked away from it. This is the one I have published on Twitter called Curing the Toxic Dance, a poem about moving humanity forward.
Yes.
The toxic dance, tit for tat, continues on. We've come up and forgot where we come from. Revenge seems, sorry, revenge seems to taste so sweet, but it's really just bitter memories. We all need to redirect our sights to make this world's path go right. It's about healing ourselves and giving space for others to do the same with just as much grace. It will shift when we ourselves do, no judgment from me nor from you. We exist and thrive because we're allowed to be, not because of our race, gender, or physicality. So dispose of the toxic attitude of tit for tat. Growing into our best selves leaves no room for that. It's not about what happened to us when, it's about what we do right now to join in. To focus on what we want instead, finding ways to forge ahead. Making life better for this planet as a whole isn't just a dream, it's absolutely doable. That one.
That last line, gives me goosebumps. Absolutely doable.
Thank you. Thank
Beautiful.
you. It
Another one,
is.
please. I would love to
Sure.
hear another one.
Yeah. So this one is about not taking life so seriously. It's shorter. Again, most of my I couldn't even give you the story behind most of my poems because it literally. So I wouldn't be a good candidate for what I suggested. Okay, so this one is just because
No.
we're just because
Yeah.
doesn't mean we should be so serious and stop playing. Our minds need that simple pause. It fuels everything we want to do, our greater cause. So unapologetically, go chill out because only seriousness isn't what life's about. So that's another one.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank,
You're
thank you
welcome.
so much. Yes. And I request now, actually, before we proceed any more of your poems, I'd like to request the rest of the speakers and also the listeners who are in the room right now. Thank you for joining and staying for a while. Would really like to open the stage for any question, thoughts on the conversation you just listened till now. So, Anna and Kitivas, you already have the mic. You are feel free to ask any question or share your thoughts. And anybody from the room, anybody is willing to ask anything or share anything, please feel free to ask for the mic.
Sorry, Didi. No, the time last time
No
you called me
issues,
to speak.
Kitivas.
The last time you told me to speak. No, I was really with my mom and she's talking with me, so I can't able to talk then. Sorry for that.
No problem. No problem.
I know. I just thought, I have to talk about my mother and praise her and something like that. But she was sitting next to me and just talking, so I can't really talk then about her. know, if I even then I talk about her, praising her, and she understand what I speak, definitely she's gonna beat me then because He'll be like, you don't help me to do anything, you don't do research, you don't do anything, and just you keep on praising me on social media. Even though if you put like Happy Mother's Day and Mother's Day, or putting birthday stickers as thing, every time getting scolded from us. So I don't think it will be good if I talk about mothers.
Great, great. You have a beautiful relationship with your mother. I understand that in most of the spaces we have her presence almost every day.
Just the
Yes.
if it,
Please share your thoughts or your questions. Yeah.
yeah, Didi. No, you said, talking about you and Nikki, I think so. We both are talking about the poem. No, for me in the past, I really heard poem, no, little bit, because it's a little bit boring, but at the same time, no, I don't understand. Then, it be like a lot of different vocabularies, different words, different meaning, and the simple poems like 2 or 4 lines or easily understandable poems will be great, but other than be some complicated big words poem, like Shakespeare poem like that, and simply I don't understand what the meaning is and what he's saying to convey, and I will just simply like pretend that I'm understand it, and what like like what to say, I just act like a intellectual. So that's the reason I just don't get into the poem. Yes, after seeing your poem, Shikar their poem, Anna poem, a little bit, poem is a little bit good and great. I should spend time listening to others' poems. Even though if I don't write any poems, I just want to listen to other poems.
Yes, yes. Rightly said, Kitiwas. I understand it's very true that whenever we do not understand something very clearly, like if it is beyond our understanding, it becomes too challenging for us at times, and that's when we start feeling bored about it. So that's true.
Mhm.
Like Shakespeare is one of the best poets of all times, and he had written his poems so long back in time. The English that was used, such an old English. So of course, if you want to enjoy his poetry, there has to be somebody who would interpret his poetry in the correct manner. We will of course lose the essence of the original poet, but at least we will be blessed enough to have his presence till date if we try to keep him alive through his work, because these great poets have spoken volumes about wisdom, wisdom on life. So they are like, we are having, it's like you are having the wealth and you are not aware of the wealth that you are possessing. So that is where we need to be a little putting a little effort. Sometimes I do. I mean, when I enjoy poetry, if I find that there is a little connect, I am able to establish with the poem and myself. That is where if there is a word that I'm not able to understand, I quickly Google it. Now these days it's so easy, right? When we were child, we had to have the dictionary with us. We have to go physically to the walk up to the dictionary and then search the word and then understand the meaning. But nowadays we have the phone, we have the Google, just a click away. So a little bit of effort, we can always get away with the book and still find, you know, um, a beautiful relationship with poetry. But I really acknowledge what you just said. Yes, Nikki, please go ahead.
I just really love the point that you made because if you really want to do something, you'll make the effort to do it, right? Like if they were reading something else that they were very interested in and they didn't understand something, they would take the time to Google it. So if they are interested, they will make the effort. So I love that you said just a little bit of effort. Yeah. So that was a good point. But that
Yes,
was also a good point too. If you don't understand it, you are less likely to. And
yes,
poetry can sometimes, because it can be sometimes written in like, going with this. What are they trying to get at? You don't really understand where they're going, and it's kind of it can be hard to connect with that particular poem. But just like
hmm.
there's difference in every kind of reading and genres and stuff, there are different types of poems. So if people are considering, like if that was their only experience with poems, and they counted them out because they thought all poems were the same. I think just recognizing that they're different, they're not all the same. You know what I mean? Like they won't all be that difficult. So I hope to know a
Yes,
little bit.
exactly. Exactly. I was also trying to convey that. Yes, Anna, you raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Actually, that is what I do. Because whenever I come across some difficult words in the poem, I just Google it and just try to find what is the exact meaning the poet wants to convey. And talking about Nikki's second poem, because I loved it because she was first trying to tell that not to take the life too seriously. I loved it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so easy to get bogged down in adultness.
Yes,
Adulting.
true, true. And that coming from a retired army officer, that means makes a lot of sense, you know. I heard somebody saying that you should not take life seriously, you should take life sincerely. So a lot of difference there.
I think we can say that let us take life playfully.
Yes,
Love it.
absolutely. Great conversation going on. Thank you so much. And I'd request Khadija to just have the mic. I'm inviting you to speak. I cannot hold myself back from inviting you because I have seen I have seen you speaking in Ken's spaces, Writers Guild space. So it's I mean I am fortunate because just because Nikki joined, so I know Khadija joined. So it's lovely to connect and would love to hear from you something, Khadija.
Yeah, Khadijah is super dope. As is my girl Ananda in the audience as well. And Graciela as well. I don't know the other gentlemen just yet, but yeah, we've got some amazing folks hanging out with us today, and I appreciate you guys because you could be anywhere else and you're choosing to spend this time with us. So I appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And I think I sent the invite to Khadija. Probably she is having some difficulty or she is not in a position to speak right now, maybe. So we will. Okay. Hi, Khadija.
Did we also have Suman Didi here?
Hi, hi Sonali. Thank you for this amazing introduction. Thank you. And hi Nikki. Hi everyone. So I really don't have much to say. I was listening to you and Nikki back and forth. It was amazing. I was enjoying the conversation between you two. And I just want to jump in and say hi and thank you again for the introduction. I guess your name is Sonali, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Khadija. I mean, yeah, like it's I learned about Twitter Spaces from Ken only. Like he was my I you know we have we sometimes get to learn from people without even knowing that we're learning from them. So Twitter Space, the entire discovery happened from Ken, and all the faces that I usually used to see, I always dream of having them in my space too, because I love all the people there, all the people sharing the same kind of love towards writing. So writing is something is so wonderful, God has gifted human with. So it's great to have a conversation around that. And yeah, Kitivas, as you said, Suman is currently having dinner, I think. He just messaged me, so he can't speak right now. So we were waiting for him to be able to speak. So, mm, Uh,
Okay, Sonali, I have a question if
yeah,
it's okay to ask.
sure.
Yeah, okay. What do you recommend, you and Nikki? What do you recommend if I like to read in sweet romance? What poetries or novels do you recommend for me?
Okay, okay. Great question, Khadija. It's a very beautiful question for people like us. So I would love to give this opportunity to Nikki first to answer that.
I actually, for romance, I am drawing a blank because it's not been a genre that I've really focused on. So I would not be a good source for that. But I'm definitely, my ears are open because I've not read anything in that genre ever. So how about you, Sonali?
Okay, the ball hasn't passed to me now.
Yes. Bounce.
Okay, with ample amount of responsibility, I want to say what I feel about, I would suggest myself is what I have been always following is actually currently I would say that I wouldn't say that I read a lot of modern writers. I'm sorry to say that, but I am very conscious about what I feed my mind. So until and unless I trust somebody, I do not read them. So I have a lot of trust in the olden times where, the renowned poets, the renowned novelists, they have been well renowned for the wisdom they have shared through their life, through their writings for centuries. Even after their death, their name is persisting till date. And even if you read them today, you can relate with each and every word of them so much just because they spoke sheer wisdom and on the basic human feelings which never change, which is beyond time and beyond boundaries, so you are able to relate to them. So with romantic poets, if you say, I would suggest John Keats. John Keats is someone I always looked up to since my childhood. His poems were great. um about novelists, I would I won't say even with the old time writers, I won't say that I have. I mean, probably it would take lives to be able to read all great poets or all great writers. So I hope I am born with more lives later on also, so that I can accommodate, reading them all. But Tagore is one of the writers, Rabindranath Tagore from India. So he was one of the finest writers, I believe, of all times, because I have been blessed to have closely grown up with his work. I am a trained Tagore singer. So I have been trained for 12 years with his songs. So he wrote poetry, he wrote novels, and he was a Nobel laureate. He won Nobel Prize. He was the first non-European to win in literature in 1913. So if you read him, he touched upon so genres of, so many human emotions that is beyond imagination. So whatever kind of state of mind you are in, whatever, romance or tragedy or childhood, be it anything, there is probably anything that he has left unwritten, so you can explore him. His writings are mostly in Bengali language, so that's not. I mean, you can't read probably because that's a foreign language. But there are translations available. The Gitanjali collection of poems, the book for which he had won the Nobel Prize, is in English, and it was self-translated by him in English. So that you can rely upon, right? Like I do not rely on the translated version by some other writers because a lot of the essence of the poems get lost when it gets translated by somebody else. So you can try the self-translated versions of Tagore in English. And there are
Okay.
other, yeah, yes, Khadija.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Continue.
Yeah, no, I mean, these are my favorite topics, so I get very long with this, but I tend to say a lot. But this is there are many others, but if for the time being, I would love to mention his name. It's definitely.
So he writes in Bengali and English, just these two languages, or
Sorry, could you come again, please?
yeah, I say his books in Bengali and English.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, because I do understand Urdu or
Okay.
Hindi, I
Hmm.
understand it. So if he has books like in Hindi, I can read them.
Okay, okay. I'll try to search if there are self-translated or at least good translations available. I'll try to search and share with you, or the good novels as well, whichever are you can try on the in the romance genre. Uh, I'll try and search and message you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Nikki, I also have a question for you. What genre do you like to read in? I mean, regardless of poetries and novels.
I mostly like things that move you forward, that really help you question your own beliefs to see if they're still continuing to serve you in where you're trying to go, or if you need to shift. So I know I wrote a poem about playing, but that's where I read about anything that helps me grow and be a better person and better for humanity. And then of course, well, I'm not gonna say of course, but I also love to read about the way the body works, the way the mind works, and things like that. So those are my favorites things to read about.
Great. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Thank you so much, Nikki. Thank you so much, Khadija. And anybody else want to ask anything or share anything? Okay. No, but Suman, whenever you are done with your dinner, please do let me know so that we can have you in the stage. Nikki wanted to say something, is it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just this conversation is like I probably should open up my my genre selection. So I'm interested in I'm gonna just explore some new things. So I really appreciate this conversation, um, and pointing out inadvertently pointing out that I guess I need to open up my field of view a little bit. So this is cool. I love it.
No, I mean, Nikki, if you were talking about like the subject which you want to read about or write about, if you are talking about that, I would say that you are actually, you love actually the probably the um, narrowed down point subject. I mean, I don't know how to place it right now.
Yeah, I
I
get
mean,
what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, everything that takes you to that level of growth, you know, of
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
being transcendental. That is the
Mm-hmm.
ultimate goal of human souls, right?
This is true.
So you are already there. So,
Touche.
and anything that serves could be from any, and of course, I mean, um, if you can explore, uh, you will obviously search that only there also. So this is what is my favorite subject also, Nikki. I mean, we have we are not only from the IT matching up there, we are on the mains. I mean, also we share common ideas. So this is what is a beautiful thing about. I mean, it's a full subject to like because. In the end, if it doesn't drive us there, then I don't think there is any point.
Very true. That's kind of, you can actually use that um, towards your question earlier today about driving people
Hmm.
towards different things. So, yeah. Touche.
Yes. Thank you so much. So I'd like to now gradually move towards our next section because we are running of the time. So our next section is poem of the day. And poem of the day today, I had actually since we usually have the poem of the day on the topic of the day, like motherhood is our topic of the day today. And I went through a few poems by Anne Taylor, by Elizabeth Eckers Ellen, and then I finally selected one of Tagore's poems. So this poem by Rabindranath Tagore was written in Bengali, and I didn't find any English translated version that was translated by him. So since it was not translated by himself, so I don't want to, you know, read that English version. I would read out the Bengali version itself, and then I'll explain what it means as I do always, like analyzing the poem, and so that you can get the actual meaning out of it. So, I mean, at least my interpretation. And before I completely shift to that direction, any kind of, I mean, any suggestions or anything you want to give or share with us, Nikki, please feel free.
As far as ask that question again.
Like, I mean, for our spaces, poetry spaces, whatever, I mean, today when you joined, we were discussing about the random poems, the guest poems on the topic. And then we moved to your section, and now that's another section. So whatever you have seen today, if you have any suggestions for us for hosting the poetry spaces, please share with us.
Oh, I like the format that you had. Like people, it's poetry night in virtual world where people can share what they've written and they have the opportunity to share the story behind it and share what they were perhaps experiencing, why they wrote it, and things like that. That gives people the opportunity to know the person and hear their writing and hear it in their voice. There's something different about hearing, like when we did the first book that I co-authored, we got the opportunity to read our chapters in a Facebook group. Each author read our own chapter, and it just comes across differently hearing it from the actual author. So giving the poets the opportunity to share their poems. And like, as you mentioned before, with poetry not being as huge of a thing, this is a beautiful space giving them the opportunity to connect with other folks who understand, feel, and are looking forward to hearing what they have to share. So I like the way it's set up so far.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. I can thank you enough for joining, for sharing your journey, for sharing your story, and sharing, encouragement, please. Thanks a lot. So now I'll move towards this section, poem of the day. The name of the poem is Mone Pora, which means remembrance. So it's based on the topic of motherhood. I'll try my best to recite it in a way so that you get the rhyming of the lines. Though we'll not be able to understand the language, but I would try my best so that you get the rhyme at least. And then a summary of it you will get later on when I explain. So here it goes. মাকে আমার পড়ে না মনে, শুধু কখনো খেলতে গিয়ে হঠাৎ অকারণে একটা কি সুর গুনগুনিয়ে কানে আমার বাজে, মায়ের কথা মিলায় যেন আমার খেলার মাঝে। মা বুঝি গান গাইতো আমার, দোলনা ঠেলে ঠেলে, মাকে যেতে যেতে গানটি গেছে ফেলে। মাকে আমার পড়ে না মনে, শুধু যখন আশ্বিনেতে ভোরে শিউলি বনে শিশির ভেজা হাওয়া বেয়ে ফুলের গন্ধ আসে, তখন আমার মনে ভাসে, কবে বুঝি আন্তমা সেই ফুলের বয়ে, পুজোর গন্ধ আসে যে তাই মায়ের গন্ধ হয়ে। মাকে আমার পড়ে না মনে, শুধু যখন বসি গিয়ে সবার ঘরের কোণে, জানলা থেকে তাকাই দূরে নীল আকাশের দিকে, মনে হয় মা আমার পানে চাইছে অনিমিষে, কোলের ওপরে ধরে কবে দেখতো আমায় চেয়ে, সেই চাউনি রেখে গেছে সারা আকাশ ছেয়ে। That is all. Do any of you want me to repeat it, read it again? Is that fine?
It was absolutely beautiful. I have no idea what you said, but I could listen to it again.
It's Bengali, I believe.
Yes, yes, Bengali. And that's a great compliment, Nikki. That's a great compliment. Thank you. So, you want me to repeat Kittivas or Anna,
Just
Khadija?
please once again, Didi, you can repeat once again because it's really nice.
Okay,
Bengali lines.
okay, okay. মাকে আমার পড়ে না মনে, শুধু কখন খেলতে গিয়ে হঠাৎ অকারণে একটা কি সুর গুনগুনিয়ে কানে আমার বাজে, মায়ের কথা মিলায় যেন আমার খেলার মাঝে। মা বুঝি গান গাইতো আমার, দোলনা ঠেলে ঠেলে, মা গিয়েছে যেতে যেতে গানটি গেছে ফেলে। মাকে আমার পড়ে না মনে, শুধু যখন আশ্বিনেতে ভোরে শিউলি বনে, শিশির ভেজা হাওয়া বেয়ে ফুলের গন্ধ আসে, তখন কেন মায়ের কথা আমার মনে ভাসে। কবে বুঝি আনতো মা সেই ফুলের সাজি বয়ে, পুজোর গন্ধ আসে যে তাই মায়ের গন্ধ হয়ে। মাকে আমার পড়ে না মনে, শুধু যখন বসে গিয়ে শোবার ঘরের কোণে, জানলা থেকে তাকাই দূরে নীল আকাশের দিকে, মনে হয় মা আমার পানে চাইছে অনিমিষে, কোলের উপরে ধরে কবে দেখতো আমায় চেয়ে, এই চাউনি রেখে গেছে সারা আকাশ ছেয়ে। That's all. So now I'll say it in English. So I won't dare to translate it. So this is not translation, but this is explaining the poem as much as I could interpret it. So with, with apologies for unintended mistakes, I'd love to explain it right now. So Mone Pora means remembrance. So the plot is, there is a person who had lost his mother in his childhood, in his infancy probably, to the extent that he has a very vague memory of his mother. So he doesn't remember the exact outline of how his mother looks like or how she sounds like. The exact figure is not at all in his memory, but still he has something that he experienced during those infancy, in infant days, just before she passed away. Those memories still come to him in a way, in the way that is what is explained in this poem. Make amar namone. The first line of the poem says, I do not remember my mother. Full stop. The first line, straightway it says, I do not remember my mother. শুধু কখন খেলতে গিয়ে হঠাৎ অকারণে একটা কি সুর গুনগুনিয়ে কানে আমার বাজে. Here he is saying only at times, all of a sudden, without any reason, I get a I get to hear the humming sound of a voice. মায়ের কথা মিলায় যেন আমার খেলার মাঝে. Next he says, it looks like my mother's words are blending with my playthings. So by playthings here he used the metaphor plaything to uh, to point out to the regular stuff of life, regular things of his life that is going on in his life, and he's just trying to explain that when at times sudden she he gets to hear the humming voice of his mother amidst his work treating as playthings, so he feels like that has blended with the words of his mother. মা বুঝি গান গাইতো আমাকে ঠেলে. Here he says that my mother, I have heard, like he says that I have heard from others that my mother used to uh, cradle me, make me go to sleep in the cradle. So she used to push the cradle. So, and while doing this, she used to hum a song. So he relates this portion with that. মা গিয়েছে যেতে যেতে গানটি গেছে ফেলে. So he is saying that my mother has left me, but while living, she has left behind this song with me. মাকে আমার পড়ে না মনে. Now again he mentions, I do not remember my mother. Full stop. Next he says, শুধু আশ্বিনেতে ভোরে শিউলি বনে শিশির ভেজা হাওয়া ফুলের গন্ধ আসে. So Ashin is the month of Boishakh, Jyeshtha, Ashadhara, Bhadra, Ashin. It's a rainy season, like the autumn, and in that times, there is a flower called Shuli. Shuli, I don't know if it is blooms in the west or not, but in eastern India, we have a lot of this Shuli flowers. So this blooms in the autumn season, and that's a very fragrant flower. It's small, tiny looking. I mean, the center of it is in orange. Petals are creamy white. Small flowers, but it blooms in bunches. Lots of it in the entire tree, and it's very fragrant. So this flower actually signifies that season a lot, and this flower is used by many poets in many of their poems. শুধু যখন আশ্বিনেতে ভোরে শিউলি বনে শিশির ভেজা হাওয়া বেয়ে ফুলের গন্ধ আসে. He is saying that only in the days when in that season, in that autumn, the morning breeze brings in the scent, the fragrance of those শিউলি flowers. তখন কেন মায়ের কথা আমার মনে ভাসে? He is asking, then uh, why the memory of my mother, I mean the uh, memory of the existence of my mother erupts in my mind. That is a question that he is asking now. কবে বুঝি আনতো মাসেই ফুলের সাজি বয়ে পুজোর গন্ধ আসে যেতাই মায়ের গন্ধ হয়ে. That in that season is actually that is there is a huge celebration, one huge Durga Puja, it is said. So in that season, uh, usually that is the puja, that is the worship of goddess Durga. So she is a female, god. So he is saying that in that season, whenever this scent, the air is fully scented with these flowers, at that point of time, probably my mother used to pluck in the flowers and bring in them to worship. And maybe that is the reason why I get her scent in the air every time in this time of the year. You can see how far his imagination is going. So he's trying to say that since his mother was involved in that activity of plucking those huly flowers in when she was alive, that is why probably that scent has kept remained connected with her, and whenever he gets that fragrance, it reminds him of her. মাকে আমার পড়ে না মনে. Next again he says, I do not remember my mother. শুধু যখন বসি গিয়ে শোবার ঘরের কোণে, জানলা থেকে তাকাই দূরে নীল আকাশের দিকে. Only when I go into my bedroom and sit in that corner, looking at the window, to that far away in that sky, নীল আকাশের দিকে, far away in that blue sky, মনে হয় মা আমার পানে চাইছে অনিমিষে. It feels like my mother is looking at me without any blink of an eye. কোলের উপরে ধরে কবে দেখতো আমায় চেয়ে, সেই চাউনি রেখে গেছে সারা আকাশ ছেয়ে. She used to probably make me sleep in her lap long days back. That look, it seems like that look she has left behind in that broad white sky. That is all. This is the end of the poem.
I love it just as much as I did. Just spoke it before I understood it. That is such a beautiful. That's just, I don't even have any words right now. I love the way he's recalling, like, because anybody could be, they could have self-pity or sadness because they don't remember their mom, but he's recalling like the beautiful aspects of who she was when he got to experience her presence. So I really love that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much that I could convey at least a bit of it, what I am feeling right now. Like whenever I read these poems, I always get goosebumps because these dive down so deep into feelings, and this brings out something so unique about the human inside. You know, it's always a pleasure and it's always a fortune to, you know, be able to read this out to anybody and see how fortunate I am that I always felt bad that Tagore got limited to the language Bengali. He had more to offer, but since it's a certain language not many people know, so his work doesn't reach out to a lot. So, but I read it out to you. None of us, apart from me here, is Bengali, but still the message could get conveyed, and you appreciated it, you liked it. That is, my day is done. Thank you. Okay. Others, please share your thoughts.
Didi, I don't know Bengali. The things you said, I really don't understand the Bengali words, but I'm little bit nowadays I'm just convinced that Bengali is much more beautiful, and like it's whenever I hear a Bengali words or Bengali song, it's really what to say, a good feeling. It really makes me so calm, and I don't know how I got this feeling, but I listened to a old song. It's from 2000, I think so, from a Hera movie. In Tamil movie, they will have some Bengali words. It will come in between the in the song, Tamil song, that Bengali words, like from then to now, I'm just whenever I listen to the poem that you read from Rabindranath poems or something Bengali words, I do feel really some a cool vibe, kind of good feeling whenever I listen to some Bengali words. And I really appreciate you, Didi. You put a lot of work on translating to us. I really appreciate you. That really kudos to you. And thing on is the thing you said, that the one line, we don't forget our mom, even though I really, now it's really ashamed to say, but I really forgot my grandfather face. Whenever I see the photo, I will remember, yeah, our grandfather used to be like this. But suddenly I will forget his face because I don't think about him a lot. But even now, my grandma is really old, like 90s or some. Even now, she will talk about her mom, how she look, what are the things she done to her. No, she doesn't forget her at all. Even though she has some memory loss power, sometimes she will forget something. She'll be like, who is that? Some, like old age problems. But till now, she will know about her mom, and the love between, us, like with mom, it's something which can't be described in words. That's what I'm going to say. We won't forget our mom till we die. That's the
True,
way.
true. Very true. Thank you so much for everything that you said. Thank you for recognizing my efforts, but that's, I absolutely enjoy doing that. And coming to like, you need not feel ashamed about forgetting the face, how your grandparents look like. That's just because how much time you had spent with them. So childhood, like if you see technically, like scientifically, till the age of 5 years or so, or maybe a little more, uh, children are most capable of learning. I mean, uh, a percentage of human learning happens in that initial years only. After that, the learning curve goes down. It's said by science itself. So you will see whatever you have learned in your childhood days remains with you till the age, uh, till your old age maybe. Even I know for a reason, like I had learned quite many songs in my childhood days, and I can sing them till date without any practice flawlessly. But the songs that I had in the recent years, I just forgot. I do miss out on those. I do mistakes there very easily. So this clearly shows that whatever you come across in your childhood days, you are never going to forget. Now, the time you spend with your mother, the childhood days are, of course, the maximum time you are so close to your mother. So that is when you can never forget her. And she does so much for you. So how can you forget her? Even if you want to, you will not be able to. And in this poem, Tagore mentioned that I do not remember my mother because the context is the person about he is talking here as his mother had died in his infant days. So that is why he couldn't get enough opportunity to spend time with her, to have a structural, experienced, well-formed experience with her. So still in that position too, that limited time also, the feelings that she left behind with him is what this poem is composed of. So yes, yeah,
I
Yeah.
Anna.
just
Yeah,
oops,
sorry,
sorry.
Nikki.
Oh, my bad. I was just wanted to agree with him that there's something about the language, the sound of the language that is very peaceful and it feels home, which is that I know of. Maybe in a past life I was from there, but it just I really like hearing your language. So I just wanted to say.
That's such a sweet thing to say that maybe from that past life I was from there. That's such a sweet thing to say, Nikki. Shows how broad your mind is, it's absolutely beautiful. I always think that language should be something that helps us to communicate with and not something that poses as a barrier to human minds. So it's great to know that, uh, I'm able to recite it in a way that is reaching your hearts and is probably ready to break that barrier. So in the near future, probably if you are interested, if you learn the language, you will enjoy. you'll enjoy it on your own. So
I love that.
yes, Nikki, thank you. Kitivas, you wanted to say something.
Is the I just thought maybe we what to say, like it's this my concept, Didi, like a theory. You can take like a theory, cause when we change, like my mom used to this to say to me when I really do some bad things or naughty things. You are change, like I really forgot who you are. She will use this sentence like நீ யாருன்றதே நான் மறந்துட்டேன். It means I really forgot who you are because you are just a calm, really good kid who listened to me, but now you're really arrogant and rude. So I don't remember who you are. So I just thought that what he meant, like I don't remember who she is now. Maybe she changed or something like that. I just thought that what he meant is
Hmm.
totally different.
Hmm.
People use
Hmm.
you really different. I don't remember who you are. Like to say because people change and
Hmm.
they don't know who they are now.
Got it.
So that's
I
what I thought.
felt from what you. Hmm. There is, I mean, some network issues from my end. Probably, I'm having a little hard time to hear. Kitivas's voice was breaking when he said, but I could get what you said. And I really actually, when you said that about mentioned about that, I do not forget my mother ever. I sensed that you understood it in a wrong way, like it is not the actual thing. The context of the poem I had initially said, but probably you missed out there. So at the very start I had said that the mother had died in his infant days. So thanks to myself and thanks to you that you pointed it out so that you did not misunderstood the poem, and thanks to my understood that you misunderstood, so I could explain it again. So yes, Anna, I would like to go to you.
Actually, that was a good one from Tagore. Actually, though that child is not able to physically remember his mother, but through that subtle memories of her singing her song, maybe or it may be that fragrance of the flower, and he tries to capture her through those moments. It's such a good way to remember the mother. That is good one.
Yes, Anna. I thought you would love it because anyway you love children, you love childhood memories. So I thought that you would love this poem.
Yes, love mother also.
Yes, one who likes childhood, one who loves childhood memories will definitely love mother, because it is first and foremost the mother who makes the childhood happy, right? So it is
Yes.
not without the mother a person can have a happy childhood. So yes, um, I'll now move to the most interesting uh, segment of our poetry space, the favorite one for Anna, quiz quiz on the poem of the day. So there are five questions. Whoever answers most will be winning a prize, will be declared the winner. So Nikki, you are having the mic. You are also a participant in that.
I love the surprise. It's pop quiz.
Yes. Khadija, I am expecting you also that you try to answer a few if the questions are common. And anybody from the listener section, if you want to participate, please raise your hand. I'll send you invite to speak, or you can even send me a request to speak. So it's just a 5 question. Welcome back, Shagun. I'll give you the mic. I have to give you the mic. I'll definitely give you the mic even if you do not want to. So the thing is, now we are in the quiz section, Shagun. And I was just explaining to everybody that we have just 5 questions, and whoever answers the most number of questions wins the quiz and has a prize in the end. Very interesting prize. So I want most of the participants, Claudia, and Abdullah, if you feel like you can join in participating. Otherwise, I'll start. Shagun, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I just had to go back for a Zoom family call since my immediate family lives in South America, so can't help it. So I'm back here.
Okay, okay, no issues at all. Next time, bring them in as well here.
Yeah, of course, of course. If they have the time to spare for me first, and then later on to you, I will definitely.
Yes, and I would request you to listen to the recording. It was amazing. Nikki shared her poems, and we heard about her journey, and we had some amazing conversation
Yeah.
on poetry.
Yeah.
And again,
I
I
will
read out one.
definitely send it to me. I will listen in my free time, definitely for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So I just read out the poem of the day today, and now the quiz will be based on that poem. I mean, related to that poem somewhat. So here goes my first question. Who was Bhanu Singh Thakur?
Tagore's brother or father.
Kirtivas, you will kill me with your guessworks. Okay. Anyone else? No one else?
I'm stumped.
I guess he was the son.
Sorry, he was the
Yeah, son. He wrote about his mother,
son.
right?
Okay. Now, son to say as the narrator of the poem, the character is the son.
Yeah.
Okay, quite close. Uh, Nikki, you were trying to say something?
Oh no, I was just saying I can't remember.
Okay. Okay. Anna, you were silent.
No idea, Ka.
Okay. So actually today's all my questions are very interesting. They're interlinked. So it has kind of become like a story. You will enjoy the 5 questions when all the 5 questions will have ended. So the answer to the first question is Bhanu Singh Thakur was a pseudonym of Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, so it is a pen name of Rabindranath Tagore. He wrote poems titled Bhanu Singh Thakurer Podaboli under the pseudonym of Bhanu Singh Thakur at the age of 16. Okay, that is a collection of poems at the age of 16 which he published under the name Bhanu Singh Thakur. Okay, so next question is Shavana Gagane Ghore Ghanagata. Okay, this is a song. I'll sing 3-4 lines of it, and my question will be from that. Okay, so first let me sing that song. Just 4 lines. I'm getting a little noise, background noise coming from.
Shagun, could you mute your mic?
Okay. Okay. Just a minute. श्रावण गगने घोर घन घटा श्रावण गगने घोर घन घटा निषेधयामिनि रे श्रावण घोर घन घटा कुंज पथे सखी कैसे आव अब ना कामिनी रे श्रावण गगने घोर घन घटा. So my question is, what is the language that I am singing in this song?
Bengali.
No, you're
What?
wrong.
Is it Tamil? In Tamil?
No. It's not
Shagun,
Tamil.
yes?
Is it Tamil?
Oh, acha. Kittiwas
Assami?
already answered you. No.
It's not Tamil, Sugan. Sagun.
Okay, it is. What is the second try that you did, Kittiwas?
Didi, I just want to like a clue. What's like a northeast language or like north, west or something? Can give clue for us.
That is, I cannot give a clue because there is no relation. Because when I will give you the answer, no, you will be surprised.
Definitely, it's not Hindi. Assami,
No.
Odissi, Bengali, Bhojpuri, Rajasthani.
No. You're
Is it
trying
in
all the languages.
Gadwali?
Sorry?
It is in Gadwali or something?
No.
No.
Yeah, this gonna blow everybody's minds. It's in English, Didi.
Okay. Khadija, do you want to try?
I don't know, but can you give us options?
Some options.
Show some mercy, Didi.
Okay, let me try the options. Okay, just give me 2 seconds. Okay, so the options are number 1, Maithili, number 2, Brajabuli, number 3, Manipuri, number 4, Gujarati.
Number 3, Manipuri.
Monthly.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Gujarati since no one said it.
Okay. Okay. So that's it, right? Okay, let me answer then. The remaining, the option that none of you answered is the answer. Brajabuli.
How many languages do you know, Didi?
My next question will answer you that. Okay. My third question is, what is Brajabuli?
Itself.
Now, what about the language? It is a language known, already known. Now, what about the language?
You're asking which state the people speak or something like that, Didi?
Yes.
It's from northeast side, right? Like Odisha, Manipuri side or Assam, something like that. Didi. Because they are like 50 languages which is not official or something like that in India, Didi. It's really hard to find. And it's not in
True.
official language, right, Didi? Because it's not in the 22 language.
I'll answer right away. So before I answer, I am just not trying to give you this actually not definitive, not kind of a yes no. That is why I'm not able to give you anything. I do not want to take away the charm of, when I tell you the answer. I do not want to fade down the charm, so I'm just reserving that. Shagun, do you have any idea what is Brajabuli?
Uh, According to me, it is more for music.
Form of a music. Okay, okay, fine. Somewhat close, but not correct. Okay, I am having a thunderstorm over here, so I do not know. Anytime I might lose my internet connection. So that is why I'll rush. I'll quickly answer. Braja Buli. Word you must be accustomed with, Shagun. Who
Yeah,
is Braja?
Braj is Shri Krishna.
Yes, yes. So it is related to that. Okay, I'll tell you. Braja is an artificial literary language. Okay, it is an artificial literary language popularized by the poet Vidyapati. His Brajabuli lyrics about the love of Radha and Krishna are considered his best work. Other poets later emulated his writing, and the language became established in the 16th century. Okay, beautiful information, right?
Right.
Yes. So Braja comes from the name of Lord Krishna, and since he had written on the love, I mean everything, all of his works, most of his works, the best works was based on this love between Radha and Krishna, and he named the languages Brajabuli lyrics. And when later all the other poets also reused it, emulated it, it established as a language in the 16th century. So my fourth question, who is Vidyapati?
A
A
writer.
poet. A poet.
Correct. Poet is fine, but will you be able to say something about him anymore? I mean, anything more?
That's what you told about his poems on Lord Radha, Krishna and Radha.
Hmm. So Vidyapati is also known as Maithil Kavi Kokil. Okay. So the poet Cuckoo of Maithili. Maithili is actually a Bihari language spoken mainly in northern Bihar and in Nepal as well. So he was a Maithili and a Sanskrit polymath poet saint. Okay, playwright, composer, biographer, philosopher, law theorist, writer, courtier, and a royal priest. A lot of roles he played. And he was the father of this language, this artificial literary language, Brajabuli. So, this is in short about Vidyapati. He was born in 1380, 1380, and died in 1460, 1460. Long, long back. Okay, that is the fourth question done. Fifth question. Where from did I sing the song that I sang? Savana Gagane Khore Khanagata. Bolo bolo. This will actually uh, complete the cycle of the question. Like question number 5 will connect with the question number 1. That is the hint for you. Question number 5 connects with question number 1.
What is question
Where
number
from
one,
did
Nikki?
question number 1 question number 1 was who was Bhanu Singh Thakur?
Oh, it's you read it from Rabindranath Tagore poem or something like that.
Yes, partially correct. So everybody else is thinking. So do you want to guess anything?
I think that was a
No.
poem by Tagore.
Yes. Correct only, but you are partially correct. Why am I saying? Because see, who was Bhanu Singh Thakur? Bhanu Singh Thakur was the name of Rabindranath Tagore. He wrote poems titled, I mean, it was a collection of poems that he named under, that he wrote under the name of Bhanu Singh Thakurer Podaboli. So the collection name was Bhanu Singh Thakurer Podaboli, and he wrote those under the name Bhanu Singh Thakur. And this song is from that collection, Bhanu Singh Thakurer Podaboli. From that collection of poetry, this song is from there. So a lot of his poems have been converted by himself, by his own composition to songs. So this is one of the songs from that collection. Good set of questions, right?
Very, very good, Didi. And again, you just
Yay!
confused us all. You win, Didi, you win.
So I am growing as a quiz master as well, right?
Yes, Didi. From next space, I'm gonna conduct some quiz, Didi. I will prepare and come. I'm gonna ask you, Didi.
Oh my God. Okay. Then I'll have a different section for you. Okay. Thank you so much. Uh, Nikki, do you want to say anything?
No, I think it's clever the way you did that. So it's fun. I like the play aspect of it, and yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. Okay. Anna and Shagun.
Yeah, this set was some. Actually, the thing is, I don't know this depth of this poetry and the history which you shared. But today I came to know that there were some, those great poets also had their alternative names to write upon, and so there were different literature languages as well in which even our supremo gods are also related. So yeah, thank you for sharing this valuable this thing.
Yay, thank you. I was lucky to actually find these questions,
Yeah.
and it
These are
it
very rare sets. Now if I seriously want to go and Google all these things and read it. Actually, I will do that.
yeah.
Seriously, yeah. Because as far as I'm sharing just a small point. My mother used to read. My mother and grandmother both
Hmm.
used to read Bhagavad on daily basis. You know, when I was
Oh.
young. Yeah. There is one interesting fact about since I am a Sindhi, I'm a North Indian,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
we are actually natives of Pakistan. If somebody knows what our community is, but we
Hmm.
literally have a Bhagavad Gita written in our own Arabic language, which starts from the left hand side of the book. I have a Bhagavad Gita which starts not from the right but from the left hand side, and we can actually in Sindhi. So this is how,
Okay.
yeah. So we this culture was there then also, and then since I don't understand this language, the all secrets actually went along with my grandmother. But now my father, since
Oh.
he knows to read, he sometimes reads. So yeah, we do have that still.
Wow.
And you won't believe that
Nice.
book is around 75 years old now. You know, so yeah, more than
Wow.
75 years old. Yeah. So that is the thing. So when you said that when you asked me what is and all about, so that literally
Hmm.
actually I recollected my home where I used to see that we used to read Bhagavad Gita daily on daily basis. My women in the house used to do that. So yeah, that.
Lovely. Lovely. I am thankful to my moments of, uh, uh, creating those questions that kindled your childhood memories back. So,
Yeah, I'm very happy because something which also brought me back there, and something which also I also came to know from you, because I'm a avid learner. I don't think that I know. I never say people that I know everything. I've never said that. Be it
hmm,
cooking, be it anything. I have always have that flair to listen to people, to learn. to understand things. Not only me, everyone who's present here. I think we somewhere are unaware of certain things, right? We are imperfect people, right? We imperfect souls. We are not too much perfect to understand sometimes. So we should always learn, that thing we should be there always within our hearts. So yeah, that's it. I believe.
Great, great, great point. Thank you so much. I mean, that's truly we are lifelong learners, all of us. So that's true. Yes, Anna, please go ahead.
Actually, I should compliment you on becoming a matured quizmaster. Today, actually, I enjoyed the questions. It was not like the previous ones that it was light, those were like very much dry like that. Today it was just
Hmm.
we enjoyed knowing more facts.
Yes, yes. I mean, sometimes good things just happen, and I won't like to take the credit. I mean, I am happy that I have, it looks like that I have grown up in the 11th space, season 2 after all. It went special for lots of reasons. But still, I won't take the credit because I think sometimes good things just happen. And this beautiful 5 questions in a circular fashion today happened to me by God's grace. So I just can't help thanking all of you from the very, very bottom of my heart that it is so great to have all of you being there, valuing whatever I am doing this time. We are running the space now almost for 3 hours. So just splendid. I just can't thank you enough. The last section that is tell us more. So that is this section is just for casual talks. We share with each other, we appreciate each other, we thank each other. So this is what we are doing right now. Please feel free to say anything, add anything if you want to. Otherwise, we are clo close to piece. Khadija would love to hear from you as well. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Well,
Okay.
while we're waiting for her to get to, I would like to just
Yes,
give you your
please.
flowers that you were trying not to receive. Um, Beautiful things do happen with God, but you have to be open to receive them in
Hmm.
order to create that. So thank you for being open and allowing things to pour in. You can pour out and share with us. Um, yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Goosebumps, Nikki. You gave me another goosebumps. Thank you so much. I mean, these are, you know, these are truths, not even facts. These are sheer truths of life. If you're not receiving, you are not giving. And if you're not giving, you are not receiving. Receiving and giving are so interdependent. So,
Absolutely.
yes. Fulfilling Saturday it is for me today. And Anna, I see your hands raised again. It was the earlier hand or a new hand?
No, it was earlier.
Okay, okay, fine. So Khadija, I want to call your name once again if you are able to hear. Okay, maybe there is some problem. Anyways, anyone want to say anything more, or we are ending the
Well,
space? Hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
Nikki.
Well, we could chat. We could chat on DM. Just
Sure,
I just
Nikki.
had
Sure,
one.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Sure, we can talk. And Nikki, I would request you to keep coming back to our spaces whenever you have time, a little time. That would really encourage us. And
Absolutely.
yes, thank you so much. And everyone else, like Anne, Claudia, you were there for long here. Thank you for being here and would love to have you in our next spaces as well. And Khadija as well. Thanks a lot that you spent time with us. Shagun, you left, you came back. That means a lot. And all the things that you spoke, really great. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure is all mine. And I would like to say one last thing since you're ending
Hmm,
this phrase now.
hmm,
Never ever give up on anything. Like, generally what happens is we try to things and sometimes it doesn't happen in the mid of the way,
hmm,
maybe on the start, maybe in the end. Sometimes
hmm,
99% of the things are done, but only with the
hmm,
one slight 1% things do reflect. And this
hmm,
reflect on your mental health, on your physical being, or whatever it can be, right?
hmm,
So
hmm,
I would just like to say that don't stop what you have started, like hosting your spaces. Maybe this is the one part you are doing in your life. Don't stop
hmm,
your writing, your skills, your any skills what you have taken up, taking care of someone or whatever. It helps a lot if you manifest. So keep that in mind always before you start anything or something, that I should end it with a positive
hmm.
note so that it goes on, till the time you want to do it. That's it. And thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for those really, really wise words, Shagun. I mean, that just crossed my mind is that since childhood we have heard that you never know in whose disguise God appears to you, you know. And when you were saying these words to me, na, I just had my mind say these words to me that you never know when in disguise God appears to you. You,
Absolutely.
I hope you got it.
Yes,
What I
thank
mean.
you. See, I'm no one. I'm just one being who is born. And yeah, since I would like to say this, that till date, whatever has happened, my mother has taught me only one thing, that beta in the last, it's only you and only you who can do and achieve everything, being set of profits or losses or whatever it is. Life is going to teach you at every point of time, that's it. Nothing else.
Hmm. Yes, beautiful. Thank you so much. And yes, Kittivas,
Yes,
brother, want to listen to you one more time, one last time. Please go ahead.
what Didi?
I am saying one last time, we want to hear from you, whatever you want to share.
Me, I don't know what to say. Don't ask me suddenly, Didi. I will stick like that,
Okay,
I'm
okay,
really
I'll say
bad.
from on, I would say like, ready, 1, 2, 3, go for Kittivas.
Yeah, Didi. I hope you all fine, by God's grace. That's what I only say. No, all by God's grace, Didi. That's what I learned from you,
Mm,
being optimistic. All by God's grace.
Thank, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's a great compliment again. I mean, I just pray for me that I mean, all these compliments do not spoil me, but should encourage me to be even better. So thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Anna, any closing comments? Anything more?
Actually, today's that guest poem was as a guest Nikki. We enjoyed the today's space. I think
Thank you.
more guests in the future spaces will be good.
Yes, absolutely. Like guests like Nikki, you know,
Thank
just
you.
made it. I just don't have. I mean, we spoke for the first time, right, Nikki? And it didn't feel like that we are speaking for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't get to hear everything he said because my puppy was letting me know that a truck was driving by and she was very loud. But I just want to say
Oh,
thank
okay.
you. But yes.
Yeah. No, he was just saying that your best part of the day today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I yeah, I really appreciate that in so many ways. Appreciates. Thanks.
Yes. So thank you. Thanks to everyone. We can close now and we hope to see each other next Saturday. And it's raining heavily here. I'm hoping to have a good night's sleep and wish all of you in India a good night's sleep as well. And Nikki and Khadija. Nikki is in US, so wish you a good day. And Khadija is also probably in US. I'm not really sure. So
No, I don't think so.
okay,
I don't
wherever
think.
you are, the rest of the day, wish you good times.
Thank you. Rest well, my friend.
Yes,
Bye all.
thank
Good
you
night,
so
Didi.
much. Yeah,
Good
good night.
night.
Thank you. Yeah,
Good.
bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.